What's up, lore masters? If you enjoy Starship lore, specifically Star Trek, this video is a part of an entire series that will break down every Star Trek ship that's ever existed. Just click in the top right-hand corner. You'll hear all about the ships you love in the universe you love. With that out of the way, let's just get into it. Today we'll be taking a look at the most iconic Dominion ship, the Jem'hadar fighter. The attack ship? Wait, no, is it a patrol ship? Okay, this is the third ship in a row that doesn't necessarily have a class. I mean, honestly, the more I look into Trek, even DS9, the more I realize that sometimes they just didn't care about the minutia. Either way, the ship is commonly known as the Jem'hadar fighter, so that's what we're going to go with. Due to a lack of creativity, the writers would once again assign a shtick to a species. For the Dominion, it would be to give many Dominion ships the vagueness of looking like an insect. Arguably, you could say even the Vorta and the Changelings kind of looked like insects from a certain point of view. Looks aside though, the Jem'hadar fighters are extremely tough ships, even capable of surviving a planetary crash landing, and then still sturdy enough to be operational and take off from that planet once repaired. Interestingly, while the ship would be capable of landing troops on a planet, the vessel was not designed for fighting within planetary atmospheres. The original interior design of the ship is meant to be foreign to those used to Federation and other Alpha Quadrant power designs. The attack vessels would be extremely streamlined to only the bare necessities. This is because the Jem'hadar did not require food, they didn't require sleep, nor did they engage in, relations. Unlike all other Alpha Quadrant equivalents, there was no view screen on the bridge. Instead, two visual display devices would be used, generally by the Vorta and Jem'hadar first. The center of the ship would be the central position, which makes sense. It would have multiple different displays allowing for the command of all ship functions. Various other consoles would encircle the command area, facing towards the center so those who are operating them would be facing the commander. The bridge is additionally designed with 3 side doors and 2 floor hatches, though where these lead to is not definitively known. I'm guessing other parts of the ship, but what parts has never been shown. Additionally, the ship does not have food replicators, recreation areas, nor an infirmary. Now, the lack of a medical bay has always made no sense to me. I mean, I get that these are replaceable people. However, when you consider that while on patrol or longer operations, you can't instantly replace the person, it makes sense to try to heal them. I don't know, what are your thoughts? Initially, the weapons of the Jem'hadar were far superior to that of Starfleet technology. Just ask the captain of the Odyssey. Oh wait. You can't. Jem'hadar fighters have primary directed energy arrays located on the forward section that would initially be phased Polaron beams. But we also would see disruptors in later iterations. As stated before, the Polaron beams would be initially able to cut through Starfleet shields without a problem. What's interesting is that my research did turn up that Polaron beams had been encountered by the Federation on their side of the wormhole. But what was special about Gamma Quadrant beams that wasn't about Alpha Quadrant beams is still a mystery to me. The ships also have torpedoes and ultimately would be retrofitted with Breen energy dissipators. An interesting tidbit that people don't realize, and if I'm being honest, I didn't either, was that the Jem'hadar ships are generally weaker than their Starfleet counterparts. However, the Jem'hadar's ability to bypass shields initially made them infinitely superior. Once Starfleet was able to compensate for the Polaron beams, Jem'hadar fighters would generally travel in groups of 3 to ensure the advantage and would ultimately utilize kamikaze maneuvers if need be to win the battle. The Jem'hadar fighters, as well as most Jem'hadar ships, would be outfitted with sensors to detect cloaked vessels, both at close and long range. We can't be sure exactly the maximum warp speed of the fighters, but we know that they can go above warp 7, but aren't able to keep up with ships that maintain a warp 9 or higher. I'd almost imagine that the ships have a maximum warp of 7.5, but that's just conjecture. The Jem'hadar fighter would be most known for its service during the Dominion War, and as a staple of the Dominion fleet. And again, as I've stated, a thorn in Starfleet's side. When taking a look at the beta canon of the ship, there's honestly not much there. In Star Trek Online, you can get up to 7 different designs. Most of them seem the same to me though, with very little changes to even the subsystems or the shields. We do know that some of the Jem'hadar would go rogue in Star Trek Online and you would need to fight them. Additionally, the Dominion would help in the Iconian War. As for the Victory is Life DLC, that'll be a separate video, or a series of videos all on their own. The ship was fine. I mean, it felt dangerous through most of Deep Space Nine, but those are just my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments below. Guys, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you see, don't forget to check me out at patreon.com/Lore Reloaded. This is completely fan-funded, and I need help from fans like you. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next Lore Reloaded.